Reimagining San Francisco. I found my favorite spot in Golden Gate Park. I know what you're thinking, it's the water slide, right? Well, no, but close. It's next to the water slide. You know those hedges? Well, they're really more like trees trimmed like hedges that stand as tall as oaks. Well, this one day I was about to go down that water slide, and I was grateful to be going first because it let me avoid the next lame sentence I was about to say to my date. The next thing I knew, I was climbing out of the deep end, and I noticed all this space between the hedges. The greens on the other side were warmer, I swear. I had never been to this part of the park before. It was so open, too. And there was a long creek shaped like Lombard Street down the middle of this clearing, and floating down the creek, impossibly, was a bonsai tree in a planter. I fell so much in love right away that I lost all care for my dates, for appointments. I spotted a sprightly girl crouching behind a bush, watching me. She giggled and rolled down a hill to the side of the creek where I joined her. We ate stone fruit, and I asked her what I should do with the pit of mine. "Go ahead and put that somewhere a tree should be," she said. "We don't always clean up after ourselves, but we hold each other responsible. Like, we care, but we don't, though." A boy with curly hair and dimples sat by us and agreed. "We also love cats," said the boy. "We think they're excellent. And we think it's really sad when their fur has nowhere to go and it swirls around and around in our apartments and it feels like too much fur. But really, it's not enough air." "And we don't work on Sundays," the girl said. "We all agree that it's a good idea to share a day where we don't buy anything and instead we go to the parks or to the beach. Or to the wave organ," the boy said. "To the tree organ," I said. "Or to our books," I said. "Or to our beds," the boy said. "And we all live in rent-controlled apartments," I said. "Because the landlords are a part of us. They got here like we got here, like a fantasy, like we were chosen, like the path was glowing, like the sand dunes and the soil were magnets. We love to write and to draw and to show each other, but we also respect each other when he or she needs that alone time because we know how it feels. We're thinking too much all the time, but we remember each of us is someone else's party, and we can tell each other anything. And sometimes we can even recommend a really helpful or nice album or book or image to anchor their next huge train of thought. And we know when it's not about us and we back off. The three of us lay there, the bonsai tree now out of sight. The night was bright black now, and the cattails were lit up by the moon's reflection in the creek. I didn't want to be the one to start asking about the time and if anybody has a phone charger, so I started to fall asleep, tickling the creek with my fingers.
My twilight. In my twilight, the world a bit brighter seems. I'm here as a guest, my behavior at its best. Abiding by rules from above, I endured events with the power of love. In my twilights, if I'm allowed to stay a bit longer, I will seek days of spring when the birds sing. Naked trees dressed in their usual green, wildflowers beautify the sea. Of my twilight, drawn to beauties I don't wish to possess, I watch waves bound to the shore, performing their usual encore. Suns setting over the sea, I eternity. Always like a true friend. A lover, the sun comes out to see me. This is a deal we made long ago. So far, he hasn't disappointed me. On cloudy days, oh, don't worry, I know he is there. And when my forever comes about, it will come out for me still. I will be in the roots of my trees, wave with the branches moved by the wind, breathe with the leaves. No, I won't be done.